How's everybody doing? So I finished up my coif earlier today with all the rings that I had available. We clearly need some like contouring and stuff, but I'm out of rings at the moment, so I'm not going to worry too much about this because this excess should get removed when we tighten it up in the back. Anyway, I wanted to slap this on, and for anybody who was hanging out last night, this is the end result of where I'm at so far. Now, like I said, I'm out of rings. I got to order some more. I think the neck portion might be a little short, but I don't know. And then I want to take this top section and make it so that one of these seams here comes like down the middle of my head and then meets in the middle on my chest. So that's what I'm up to. Let me take this off. Ugh. And I'm currently... Looks good. Thanks, Barb. How you doing? I'll just throw that on the floor. I am currently like, I don't know, out of large projects to work on. That are easily workable on camera, right? I'm doing all right. Let me switch camera angles here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares. Appreciate you. So, anyway. I've been wanting to spend time working on this inlay like during the day when I can concentrate on it. Because a lot of times what happens is I'll work on it on stream, and then the next day I'll have to go back and change a bunch of what I did. And so I stopped working on it for a while. So we're going to move right along with this inlay. Got all my rings here. This inlay has 4 colors. All right. I'm gonna leave those out for right now. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? What is today? Monday? Let me get my reference photo out here. We'll just get started. For anyone wondering, let me show you what we're working on. This is my Finnegans Wake inlay. And I've been working on it for forever. I recently, I don't know, last year, got a lot of work done on it. And then, like I said, I stopped. And this is what I'm working off of. Right? This zoomed in view of a business card that they had. Now, Finnegans Wake was a bar down in Alexandria, Louisiana. And I used to go to that bar to get away from the barracks. I was living in Fort Polk at the time. And, excuse me, it was an hour drive, and then I'd be at the bar, hang out till closing, and then go and crash across the street. And so I was, how long ago was that? It's 2005, 2006 time frame. So shortly after that was when I started this Inlay. So it's been quite a while that I've been working on this project. But it was my little home away from home. Because deployments they will mess with your head. So, and you kind of need a little space to find. So I was hoping to one day, you know, go down there again and be like, hey, you know, I made this and you guys should hang it up in your bar. But they are closed now. It no longer exists. So, which sucks, but it is what it is. Now, my only goal is to finish it. And I'll hang it down here somewhere in the basement. Hey, Louie, how you doing? I got your message about your photography stuff. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it, but it's on my list of things to do. Along with, what do you call it? I've got several tabs pulled up right now for custom pins, custom stickers, and custom temporary tattoos that someone recommended to me. So next month I'm hoping, the pins are the most expensive part, right? The stickers are fairly cheap. The custom tattoos, I think they're fairly cheap. I didn't get to pricing on that one, but the pins are like $266 for 100, which isn't terrible. So I've got those tabs pulled up, and your photography stuff is on my list of stuff to review. I haven't forgotten about it. I just haven't had a chance to get back to it. So that's where I'm at. The goal is to have some like swag, you know, here at the house, so that whenever I have time to take a commission, oh, I need bags too. I need fancy bags. You're very familiar with item and product photography. There's some crazy body mod stuff there too. Nice. This is green all the way down, right? No. Where does it stop being green? It's green. Okay, yeah, it is green all the way down. Alright, so we're switching from European 4-in-1, which is like the weave I've been doing on everything for the last several weeks, to European 6-in-1 for this weave. If you do get involved in chainmail, where are we at? Date it with your deployment year and closing year and year you started and finished it would be a neat bit to have on a small note. Oh, yeah, nice. The Jimmy sent you some swag you included your packages. The gem John sent me. Let's have a look-see here. Oh, I should probably change this camera angle so people can see what I'm working on. Sitting there enjoying a Guinness and some video games. Yeah, the bar that I was going to in Alexandria, Louisiana, had Guinness on tap. Little, like, Irish bar-themed place in middle of nowhere, Louisiana. But this is the gem John sent me. And John's over on commenting on Facebook. It's got a nice little red stone in there, all wrapped. This wrap it's not going to come off, so take some serious work. But yeah, I would like the pins, some stickers, some temporary tattoos, which I need to make up some small designs for temporary chainmail tattoos. So that'll be fun. Guinness is your favorite, and it's got less calories than Bud Light, so there you go. Hey Astrid, how you doing? It is. It's pretty cool. I don't know how John does it. I don't know if you can see that. He does a lot of them. So, anyway. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, there's a place called Patios here in Kenosha. And that was the last bar we've been to. And we sat out on the patio to have a smoke and a couple drinks and talk to some nice people. It was like the second to last time the kid was out of the house, so we usually don't go out. We're just chilling at home for the most part. But I was like, all right, kid's out of the house. Let's go somewhere. We hopped in an Uber, went downtown. Doing okay? Getting sick though? Oh no, it's that. It's that time of year. I myself have been fighting something. I was all achy joints and body pains last week, so it couldn't possibly be the 12 hours a day I sit here in this chair and, weave metal together and me not moving. That couldn't be contributing to it at all, right? I'm definitely getting sick. Oh, my knees and elbows and shoulders and neck were all killing me last week. But, yeah. So as I was saying, if anyone is watching and you are looking at this and going, "Oh wow, that's cool. He's making chainmail, and that's a really cool thing out of chainmail." I want to do inlays too. Okay. Learn from my mistake, right? Don't attempt to freehand your inlay unless it's really simple, right? So have like the inlay grid pattern design out ready to go and just do your design, or a crochet pattern setup. I don't recommend using 18 gauge 1/4 inch rings with the European 6-in-1 weave that I'm doing, right? It doesn't allow for like the smooth transition that, say, 18 gauge 5/32 does, right? There's some going around. You're a little achy now. Little one was sick last week. That's no fun. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, don't attempt to freehand your inlay. Have it all planned out. Know how many rings that you're going to need of each color, and order all the rings all at the same time from the same batch. Because I have all the yellow in this is now one color. The silver is now one color. The black is two different blacks. and the green is a multitude of greens. So, because I thought that I could just order the same color over and over and over again when I first started this, and that is not the case. So, but it is what it is. Alright, here's where things get tricky. I need to make these two pieces match. Did your first attempt on 20 gauge 1/8, then went to 24 gauge 1/16 because you hate your eyes, but just repeating pattern, so only got to watch count. There you go. So this end needs to match this end. Alright. Need a couple of these. Oh, wait, no. All right. This is what I'm talking about when, like, this takes a little bit more concentration than other things because I have to make stuff match. All right. Do I drink or have favorite beer, adult cocktail? For the most part, I don't really drink anymore. But I have enjoyed a Guinness a time or two. I spent a significant amount of time doing some pretty heavy drinking for a long period. And, you know, you just... It's either I can... Okay, here's the issue. I can either make chainmail and come down here and stream, or I can go drink. It's one or the other. It's not both. So since October or so of last year, I've definitely been streaming a lot more. And don't get me wrong, I'll take a night off and have a drink, but homemade mead and amaretto are your favorites. There you go. You call it your motor oil. That's about right. So if I want to get this stuff done down here and I want to be creative and, you know, productive, then I've got to stay focused and, you know, actually work on stuff instead of just look at stuff in the basement and go, oh, I should finish that. So it's like being in the military, it's a drinking culture. And when I was younger, I could drink and be productive. But that ship has sailed. So I can either get stuff done or, you know, I can hang out and party. And right now, I would rather get stuff done. We'll see what happens over the summer. Because even today, there was like a high of 50. And it's just too cold outside for me. Go Good on you, though. Everything in moderation, yeah. You only really drink at gatherings? Well, that's another thing, too. It's like, I was just, drinking. I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting, staring at my phone. I wasn't going out anywhere. 52 cold, that's comfy. So I don't go out of my house willingly for anything unless it's over 45 degrees. Right? And it's got to be important. Like, I've got, take my kid to school, drop him off, pick him back up, right? But other than that, I'm not going outside. There's no yard work to do or anything. If I have to shovel the snow, then okay, yes, I have to shovel the snow. But take the dog out, get the mail. Other than that, I'm not hanging out outside. So, I want 72 and breezy. Winnipeg actually hasn't been that bad. We've had 1 week of brutal cold. That's it. That's not bad. Well, that's all we've had, too. The winter's been good so far, and it's, we're on the downward trend. We're heading to the other side. Yeah. I don't know. I have trauma from how cold it gets here, so there's very little that I'm willing to put up with as far as cold weather goes. We moved up here from Texas, and yeah, I was instantly like, no, I'm not going outside. It's like, I'm going to stay in my warm house. Yeah, it was like 50 today. I was going to get to a point. I don't remember what it was. But there's winds maybe, but temps and snow. No, it's pathetic. Yeah. Have I ever dealt with buffalo snow? No, winter has come close so far in the Midwest. No, I've never dealt with Midwestern snow. This, knock on wood, this year it snowed heavily once, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But the first year I was up here in 2015, we got like 14 inches of snow in a 12-hour period, and I was out at a patient's house an hour away, and I have a rear-wheel drive truck and hadn't driven in the snow in 20 years? No. 15 years. Maybe a decade. I don't know. And so that was a little squirrely getting home that night. Had to change my pants after. I'm used to snow. I grew up in Boise, Idaho, in the valley, where it would snow. It would snow 2 inches, and then it would be there for 1, maybe 2 days, and it would melt or it would rain away. And the mountains would get snow, and they would stay up all year round, but not where I grew up. Down one, straight across, one, down one. And then sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Over one, down one, over one, down one. Straight across, over one, down one. 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. So yeah, hadn't driven the snow in forever, and 14 inches of snow in a 12-hour period. We've had worse snowstorms since then, but that was the most shocking, right? 2 years ago, maybe 3 now, we had snow piles from the snowplows in front of our house that were like 6 foot high, and we were tunneling between on the sidewalk between houses. Good night, Barb. Have a good one. It's always a pleasure to see you. And that, I mean, it is just the most snow I've ever seen in my life. I've never experienced snow like they did in Lake Tahoe last year, where they got like 50 feet of snow. I don't ever want to deal with that. I don't want to live in a place where that could happen. I don't even want to go close to a place where that could happen. Oh, yeah. That's looking pretty good. I got an overhead camera and it's on my computer screen, so definitely need a forge. Help keep the temp around a nice 90 to 110. I need a, okay. So I've got a shed. It's a 12 by 12 shed and back from Lowe's or Home Depot or something. And it does what, it stores the lawnmower. You know, it does what I need it to. And nothing more. I got my miter saw in there. And I've got my table saw in there. And I'm going to build a little table because I got a bench vise that I need to mount somewhere. But that is it. There's no room for like anvil forge setup out there. If I make them movable, then I can pull them out during the summertime and work on them in the yard. But that's about all I'm going to be able to do. Okay. Is it this? Her? I think that's it. So I need, like, what I would like to do is move that shed, put up a shop, and see where that gets me. Oh, hey. That is the wrong color ring. Run power out there, and then I want one of those big metal shed buildings on a concrete slab. But I've got what I've got, and I'm, you know, got to make it work somehow. Like I said, the shed's not gonna. I wouldn't be able to forge or have a heat source or anything in there. What have I done here? That is a goal, though. My son wants to do some smithing, and he's of an age where, you know, you get him hooked on creating stuff now, and he'll be doing it the rest of his life. You know, what have I? We have a Milwaukee blacksmith up in Milwaukee that I want to take him and do classes with him there. With, God, I forget the guy's name. Him and his family run the whole shop. So I'd like to take my kid up there and do a little family class with him. And then we have Centaur Forge out in Burlington, which is an hour away. And they've got a bunch of farrier supplies. But they've got anvils and coal forge setups and hammers, tongs, chisels, horseshoes. You like my chainmail? Thank you so much, Peter. How you doing tonight? It's coming along. We're getting somewhere with it. One day it'll be done. I think this is 40,000 rings is what I calculated this out to be. This inlay. I don't remember. I'd have to do the math again. It's some ridiculously stupid number that when I started this project, I had no idea it would take this long, require this much effort, and I'd have to tear half of it apart just to get it to work, you know? So but it's coming along. I did a Raiders inlay freehand for a friend of mine. Not that long ago, last year. And it turned out pretty good. But that was a lot of, building out, tearing it apart, building it out, tearing it apart. And I just went, thank you for the roses. I went, the wrong way about making an inlay. So once I'm done with this one, I'm going, the reason is because I hate prep work, right? I tried working painting cars one time in my youth, and just the amount of prep work that goes into that drove me insane. So I didn't last long there. Alright, what'd I snag? I snagged something. Is it? Oh, it's this. With inlays, you've got to figure out how many rings of each color you're going to need, how many rings it's going to be. You really should pre-design everything out on on inlay grid pattern, or graph paper, or a crochet pattern, right? We call it mise en place. You're not French, but that's what the prep for your shift is in the kitchen. Oh, okay. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm not going to try. There's just, you should have everything mapped out before you begin an inlay. And I didn't do that. So now I'm suffering the consequences. That's all. And doing prep work for food, I can't stand doing that at all. So that's why I don't work in a kitchen, I guess. I do cook. I cooked dinner tonight, and I did prep work. I had made red beans and rice, and it was good. From the box. Little Zatarans, if you know what I mean. But we add a lot of stuff to it, so But I did all the prep work for that. I can do it. I know how, I just don't like doing it. Oh no. What have I done? 3, 4. Okay. Nothing yet. There we go. Cook all day, no problem. Cook for yourself? Hell no. You get home from work and either get fast food or ramen. Yeah, I want the easiest, simplest way to make food available. I don't want to cook. It's like I have no natural inclination to cook, and I don't like doing prep, so. All right. Oh, in addition, if you've been watching since the beginning, in addition to pins, stickers, temporary tattoos that I've got the links pulled up to, I've also got a link to a stamp for my logo, so I can stamp it on packages and stuff, and an embossing tool. So I have all that pulled up. I'm not probably going to be able to get anything until next month, but we'll see. My truck is in the shop, and the bill for that's going to be very high, so and I need to add bags to my list of stuff that I need to include for my swag gear, you know? Alright. So if you're watching this and you're wondering why I'm going one ring at a time, normally I would do 2 rings on this, but this is all, every row is kind of jacked up right now, right? Like, I've got to just kind of work through each section and then just kind of fill it in as I go along. And then there are other people who have like speed weaving techniques that I'm terrible at. It doesn't make me go any faster. Like the tortoise and the hare. So I don't win the race or anything. I just get the project done. And I'm sure the hare gets the project done too, and they do it faster and better than me. But I'm okay. I'm okay with that outcome. Speaking of which, you need to figure your dinner tonight. All right, Louie, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Just go one ring at a time, and because really, when people try to speed weave, I don't know, I think of it as they're picking up the ring more than once. So is it really faster? Maybe, I don't know. I try to grab a ring once and weave it, and that is fast enough for me. And at the end of the day, it is chainmail, and it doesn't matter what project you're doing, it is going to take a long time. And a lot of people are like, oh, you must have so much patience. And it's like, it doesn't take patience unless I want to be doing something else. I just worked on a jelly cube, and a jelly cube is like the work of a shirt inside this small metal cube made of rings, right? And so it can take a it can just become a grind building out that jelly cube. There was a point to what I was saying, and I have lost my train of thought. Oh, I don't know, something about no matter what you do, it's going to take a long time no matter what. Okay. All right, next section. Is this all green? No, that's black and then green, I think. Let's zoom this down here. What's up?
Colton's remote for his TV upstairs?
I don't have it. He had it last night.
Okay, so you didn't take it from him?
No.
Okay. He was asking for it.
Oh, no. He should know where it's at.
Alright. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I screwed up. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going down 1, 1, 2. Oh, okay. Alright. These are upside down and backwards in comparison to each other, these two spots that I'm trying to match up. So, I was counting the wrong line of rings. Oh, hey, babe.
Yeah?
Can you turn the fireplace off?
Sure. I'm already out of fireplace. I mean the yellow.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, yeah, they're upside down and backwards in comparison to each other, and it's kind of a pain to keep track of where you're looking when you're trying to make a match. But you can do it. Or at least that's what I tell myself. Alright. And if you ever find yourself in this angle right here, where you're weaving like this, you need to stop and reevaluate. This is bad plier position. Okay, that looks better. And from here, we can go across a little bit without worrying about it too much. So it's kind of nice when you get to the areas that are all green, because you can just weave. And weaving is simple, keeps your hands busy, and it's easier to talk when you're not concentrating on what the next ring placement is. So, alright, for anybody watching who is like, oh, holy cow, he's making chainmail at home, I would like to do that. In the link tree in my bio is links to the Mailworks app. And it's a free app for veterans and new people, and it's got a lot of the resources I wish I would have had when I first got started making chainmail. There is, of course, a plug to my, store where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And Other than that, it's just got a bunch of resources like where to find ring manufacturers, where to find tutorials, where to find other people that make chainmail. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So, if you want to learn how to do this, download the app and get started. There's also a place to ask questions and stuff too, which I should check. But chainmail is one of those things where you can just pretty much make whatever you want. You know, some of it's cool, some of it's not. I recently had a experiment go wrong, or it hasn't gone right yet. Let me put it that way. Oh, you know what? Look at that. So, right here where I'm working, there is an E. Right there. This is this right here. Right? There's an E below it. And I've already got a design for an E right there. So all I have to do is just copy that down here. See this E right here? I just got to put one down here. Sweet. So since I've already got the design, we're going to do all this and then we'll just have a random E hanging out right here until we fill it in. I don't think I'm going to do that right this second, but we're close to that section for sure. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Follows and shares. Tap the screen with likes. All helps out. It's all free. Tapping the screen, you know, to get the like count up puts me up on the For You page to be put in front of new people. So that really helps. And then, sharing and following. I am trying to get to 10,000 followers one day. We usually get a few per stream. So the more I stream, we recently passed 2,000, but the more I stream, you know, the better, or the higher the follow count goes, so it is helpful. Tomorrow is last day of practice for wrestling for my kid. So I don't know if that means that I'm going to start doing Thursdays and Fridays as well. So I'm already streaming, you know, multiple days a week. So let's try to keep it in the evening. You know, kids, he's in bed and everyone's just hanging out at the house, and it's just me sitting in my basement. So if I can, you know, stay on top of family life and make sure my kid does his schoolwork and whatnot, then I don't see why I wouldn't be able to stream additional nights that I'm just chilling out here at home, because I'd probably be down here working on stuff anyway. But that would be like 7 days a week of streaming, and I'll need to find a I don't know, an evening off to do something. But like, this is what I do in my evenings off. Fuck Ray J! You caught me. What's going on, buddy? How are you? It's nice to see you. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Should I take a day off and like go play video games or something? But the problem with that is that once I start playing a game, I don't stop until I'm doing all right, getting a lot of stuff done. Moving on to bigger projects that aren't easily, you know, I can't work on them on my desk necessarily. Like some projects require leather. The saddlebags would be too much room. I got a whole table dedicated to those. Yeah, I got to read that book. I should take a night off to read the book I bought on a whim. All about medieval armor. This one. Medieval military technology. Take a night off to read this. I don't know. Life is life. Do you and do it well. I try. Yeah. So my projects are getting bigger and or need stuff that I can't put on my desk to use. So I've got to figure out something. Let me see here. Something's not quite right as far as these matching up. That's okay. But yeah, I've got... What projects do I have? Belts that need leather, guitar straps that need leather, the saddlebags, which is all leather work. I do have a bunch of bracelets and pendants that I have to make. Tell you a joke before you roll on and send a few roses? Hearts, you mean? Alright. Tell you a joke. I'm the worst person for this. Cause like I have jokes that are like 10 minutes long. I'm really bad at telling them. Okay. How do you make a hormone? Don't pay her. Or, here's another one. My mother-in-law's favorite joke. How do you make a Kleenex dance? You put a little boogie in it. Hey, are your kids starting to tell jokes yet? Look, You ever hear a kid? What song is this? Oh, I don't know. It's called Big Money by Raphael Michael Allen. Your son's old enough to tell jokes? Okay. Like, the way kids tell jokes when they're like 3 and 4. No problem, Patrick. How you doing? It's the funniest thing ever because they'll be like, knock, knock, who's there? Potato! And it's just these nonsensical jokes that they make up in their head trying to tell a joke. And they're terrible, but they're just the best things ever. So my kid's too old for that now. He's starting to... Oh, what happened there? Like he has jokes that are... He's starting to pick up inappropriate jokes from his cousin or from the internet. I don't know where he picks this stuff up. Your boys are more into dad humor and bad puns. Excellent jokes. It's always good for a yolk, yeah. Yep. My dad was the dad joke guy. My dad is a storyteller. He's a narrator. He's a singer, songwriter, cast member, right? Like, he's awesome. And he doesn't, like, act or anything, but he is his own just whole set of production when it comes to telling a story or telling a joke or singing a song or whatever, right? And I did not get that from him. So in a one-on-one conversation, I'm somewhat, quick-witted enough to hold my own in a banter back and forth, but your kid is starting to understand the jokes. Yeah, that is a problem. But yeah, I did not inherit his ability to tell a yarn. Is that the expression? To knit a yarn? I don't know. See? I don't have it. I don't have that skill. And I wish I did, because I could... My dad would be a good streamer, because he can talk, for a long time about whatever's on his mind. And it's not always the most interesting stuff, but he never runs out of stuff to say. And maybe that's because we don't talk very often, once every couple weeks, because we live across the country from each other. But, all right, man, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. The second hour is free. What have I done? Where am I at here? But yeah, he can, the second hour of talking to my dad, or the second hour of making calls cross country. I don't know what I screwed up here. I don't want to work on this section too much, because then I'll have to tear it apart. But yeah. He can talk, man. Funny songs, good jokes. Remembered, all the nuance in every story. And I just did not get that from him. And so people are hanging out with me, and I appreciate it, but I apologize for getting halfway through a thought and then forgetting what I'm talking about. It's always fun. The other favorite thing I do is I'll see someone comment and I'll read it, and in the back of my mind I'll be like processing what I just read, while trying to talk at the same time, and somewhere some wires cross, and I'll think that I had responded to what someone commented. In actuality, I had just stopped talking about anything altogether. Good times. It's always fun. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the amount of work that got done on this tonight. I was working on it for a while, and then I set it aside for some reason. I just haven't been back to it. Had a bunch of other little projects done, but it's been a couple months since I worked on this. I was mentioned, okay, saddlebags, belts, sculpture, and then, I've got some scale mail to make. That's another project. One is like small scales. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. And they are very time consuming. And all I have are split rings to connect them. So I'm going to finish these projects with split rings. And they're all stainless. But one of them is like, I don't know, rose colored from flame. I don't know what happened to them. Bracelet supplies and then stainless beads is what distracted me from the Finnegans Inlay. That is probably correct. I don't remember. But yeah, I've got these off-color small scales. I don't know why I pulled out so much. I don't need that much. But I also have like regular large stainless steel scales for scale mail, right? And I want to incorporate some of the stainless scales into one of my shirts. So I'm not going to work on that, but I will work on the small scales. And that is a project that I can sit here and chill out and record the process and chat with everyone. Yeah, speaking of bracelets and supplies, I gotta order more 18 gauge 3/16 rings. I need those. What was I gonna get from TRL? Oh, I was gonna buy the last of the rings for the coif that they had in stock. I need to do that. And then I needed something else. I don't remember what. But I will get all that ordered, and then it's just supplies to finish up projects that have been laying around for forever. Like I said before, I can't go too far out of control because I gotta pay off, or I gotta pay for my truck to be fixed. Which, like, the good news is my brother-in-law is a mechanic. He gives me a discount whenever I go there. I don't have any problems with any of the work his shop has ever done. And he said that the timing chain slipping, it happens a lot, but usually they only have to fix it once. He says he doesn't think that they've done any timing chain repairs more than once on any vehicle. So it kind of seems like it's a one and done thing. Knock on wood, cross your fingers. And it's just, you know, it was just a matter of time before I would have to have it fixed on my truck. So I'm going to get it fixed, and then I'm going to keep driving my truck, because I haven't looked at prices of new vehicles in a year or so, but the last time I looked, it was a mortgage to get a new vehicle. So, and since making chainmail, streaming, and selling chainmail themed apparel and accessories on my website is all I do, right? I don't have room for a car payment. Not right now, anyway. This is where all my extra money comes from. Yeah, that went right up underneath my fingernail. So my truck should be done tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to pick it up, though. So I dropped it off at my brother-in-law's house for him to take it into his shop. And he's going to drive it back to his house. But I've got... I've got practice tomorrow night with my kiddo, so it's just going to be a late night. Maybe I'll just wait until Wednesday to go pick it up. We'll see. I'll figure it out. All right. I don't mind this song, but it's really loud. Okay. There is some stuff that I got to redo on this inlay. My source material is kind of jacked up, but the way all of these lines in the G, the scoop of the G, let me show you. So you see the G, F-I-N-N-E-G, right? Where the loop, the bottom loop of the G is, and right around there. Like that all, the way it looks on the source material is really weird. So, and that's what I was trying to emulate. But then I went over everything, and I was like, there's no way that any of that makes sense the way I'm trying to do it. So let me simplify it as best I can, and I've got to redo that. So if I redo the center and then make sure, because this is divided or repeated 4 times, right? Like this is here, and then if you turn it, it's repeated here. Turn it again, it's repeated down here, right? Same thing over here, right? So this is what I'm talking about. These are the repetition points. It's the same thing going around in a circle, right? So I've got to make each section of the inlay match. And if I do that and I redo this central portion of the inlay, then it should look pretty good when it's done. It's a lot of work, but you know, I want to make it look as close as possible. You know, the only thing I'm not going to do is order a bunch of the same color of green rings. I'm just going to leave it as this multitude of green that I have going on. And it's just going to have to not be the end of the world. So, and then I'll hang it up on the wall and call it a day. If we ever get it finished, which we might someday. Little work here, little work there. My belt is killing me. Stabbed me right in the stomach. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. Because I would like to put that E right here. They are different fonts though, right? Like if you look, these are two different sizes. Okay, so this E right here is smaller than this E down here. So I'm going to have to adjust for that a little bit. All right. Okay, then that's correct. So what's going on over here? Down, okay. Over one, down one, over one, down, up one, over one, down one, over one, up one, over one, down one. Okay. I think that the problem is I screwed up. And that I'm just gonna have to live with it. Talk a big game all about how I'm gonna make everything match and look nice, and I'm looking at this and it's like, oh, if I try and take this apart, it's gonna be a pain. So how we can tell is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, okay. 1 there, 2 there, 1 there, 2 there. Why does that not match up? I don't know. It's a mystery, and we're not going to worry about it. So is this all? That's going to be okay. We're going to go, I think, down at least 2 more rows. I want to do that. Okay. Do I know what I'm doing? No, I'm making it up as I go along. And I'm okay with that because, you know, I've turned out some pretty good pieces over the course of time. Not great, not spectacular. There are plenty of people who are better at this than me. But I do okay. Why is that? I don't like that idea. I want to improvise here now. So I was picking up my kid from school. We're on our way home, and all of a sudden I see my neighbor next to me driving, and I'm in the Corvette, and I have no gas, right? And I don't, if you've never had the pleasure of riding in a Corvette, or any really fast car, take I don't know, go to a dealership and take one for a test drive, because they're loads of fun. But also, you can press on the gas and just watch the gas gauge go down as you go along. Okay, I set out for my house with 1/8 of a tank of gas. I get to my kid's school. I've got 1/16 of a tank left on the gas gauge, and it's only 5 miles away. And I'm not hot dogging it anywhere. I get my kid. I'm driving back, and I see my neighbor, and he's keeping pace with me, and he's in his, I don't know what, he's got a Dodge something. And I've got no gas to zip through traffic to get around anybody. But I catch a break, and I'm able to go around some cars, and I pull in. The gas station by my house is probably 3 miles away from where my neighbor was pacing me. And by the time I pulled into the gas station, right, all the low fuel lights were coming on. The one by the gas gauge, the one on the electronic display, the one on the heads-up display, and so I barely made it. That was the excitement of my day. It's we had a Challenger before, and it was the same thing. Down in Texas, you'd be hot dogging it just a little bit, and you can just watch that gas gauge go straight down to empty. Super fast. Okay. There's a guy on TikTok who's doing a Batman inlay that I saw recently. Hung out with him a few times. His name is Kyundi, Kyundi. Nice guy. Making a very large Batman inlay. And he's smart. He's got his all mapped out, and he's got all the rings from the same batch, and he was much smarter about doing his inlay than I was mine. Oh, I can do that. Okay, hang on. Come on, where's the opening? Someone was asking about anodized aluminum rings where the ends were, where it was saw cut and the ends were anodized, and apparently nobody does them anymore, which kind of sucks. But also, I understand, because I'm looking at these black rings that I bought, and where the ends meet up, there's this little white line, and you don't, from far away you don't notice it, so I don't think that it's that big of a deal. But it's one of those things where I think it's just too time consuming and expensive to provide that to people. But I don't know. anodized. So, and since this is not jewelry, it's not going to be up against people's skin. I don't really think that an inlay requires saw cut material. There's a lot of saw cut material in here, but that's just because. When I first started, I ordered a lot of saw cut rings, and I was going to make really high-end saw cut stuff, you know, but that did not turn out to be the case. Most of what I initially made was crap. And now, I mean, it's all a learning curve. Now I churn out some pretty cool stuff, but. And also now I have kind of a direction of where I want to take this. So. I want to make chainmail shirts that give off mob wife vibes, and I want to make art. I think that that is a pretty good goal. I'll probably still make jewelry and stuff, because that's always fun. And now that I've got, so let me explain this. So I started with these. Started with these as a design, right? They're cool and everything, but the little wings here, right? These wings right here are not stainless steel, right? They're base metal coated in something, which fine, I don't mind. I'm gonna wear the crap out of this because I love this bracelet, right? But like, if I'm gonna make something, I want the whole thing to be stainless steel. I want all to be titanium. I want all, you know, gold or silver, all one metal, right? So that's, I'm gonna be using these shackle clasps and just making single strand bracelets, right? And I'll make plenty of these. These are, I've got like 20 of these I gotta do right now. That'll be up for sale soon. But, yeah. So I have that. I've got some necklace designs that I want to work on. But that's more of a, like, experimentation kind of deal with necklaces, because there are a lot of chainmail weaves to learn, right? And I know several, but there are many more weaves. And so playing with those and learning what I can do with those weaves, learning how to make those weaves first off, and then figuring out what I can do with them. That's also an aspect of what I want to do once I have all these projects done down here. So, and we'll get there little by little. I want to have all these little projects done by the end of the year. So now that I have this inlay laid out, it's probably going to sit here all night, and then tomorrow I won't put it away. I'll start working on it. And I'll probably get a lot done. Oh, excuse me. If I, spend a little time making sure everything is matching up correctly. Because I've got, these two sides halfway done, the top done. If I can get them, like, at least those three, then it's just the bottom one, and we're good to go. I don't know, maybe I'm overzealous. I'm not going to get all of it done tomorrow or anything. It's a tremendous amount of rings, but can make some good headway. Oh, you know what? I can't work on this tomorrow. I absolutely can't. I can work on this on stream because it's easier to work on over here. But I've got the saddlebags that I have to work on tomorrow. And I've got to spend all my time on those until they're done because they have to be done before spring. So it's not like I could take a day off and work on this, but no, I got to get the saddlebags done. That is what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow. I knew there was something. I misspoke. I wasn't speaking. I wasn't thinking. Because once riding season hits, I want all the chainmail and leatherwork done. So that's my goal anyway. Trying to make it so that when other people look at the chainmail and leatherwork on my bike, they'd be like, damn, that's cool. I wish I could find someone to do that for me. Not because it's like custom work I'm going to do for anyone ever. But you don't want to put stuff on your bike and people look at it and go, holy crap, that looks like crap. So I want it professional looking, custom looking, and for people to go, that's cool. I think I can do it, so we'll see. I'll get down here bright and early tomorrow morning with a hefty cup of coffee, measure out all my holes, punch them with the drill. And yeah, that'll be a good project to get done. Because then after that, it's the toolkit and the the gas tank bib. That's what it is. And put these rings up while we're not using them. All right. So this is, we kind of added a little bit down here. This is the Finnegans Wake inlay I've been working on. There's a small story behind it, but it was a bar called Finnegans Wake that's no longer there. And I was hoping one day to I was thinking when I started this that, I'll just get that done real quick. And then I'll give it to him because it was like my place of solace and solitude for about a year. And then it just never happened. So, and now they're closed. But it is what it is. So, if you see this and you're like, holy cow, he's making chainmail in his basement, and you want to learn how to do that too, please go to the link tree in my bio and download the Mailworks app. It's got a bunch of resources like where to find ring manufacturers, where to find tutorials, where to tool recommendations, where to find other people who make chainmail, and a whole grip of other stuff. And, that's where I'd get started. I download that and start going through the app if you want to learn how to make this stuff. Or if you just want to have a list of resources, if you're a veteran chainmail artist, it's a good place to start, right? If you want to purchase something, you can also download the Mailworks app and go to the artist section, and there's a lot of artists listed there that are set up to take commissions. Some of them are other TikTokers. Some of them are, ring manufacturers and chainmail artists, and everyone wears a bunch of different hats in this hobby. So if you want to buy something, go there and find something on their website, or check out if you want some custom work done. They're good people to ask. If you want to continue to see me doing this, you can go to mailworks.com and get yourself some chainmail themed printed apparel and accessories, like this neck gaiter, except this isn't on there, but it's like this. It's a print product, and it's got chainmail printed on it, and we've got European Foreign One, Dragon Scale, Hoodoo Hex, and maybe one or two other weaves. And then we have some like the Welsh flag, the Scottish flag, the Irish flag, all in chainmail printed onto blankets, right? So I'm working on this. I'm working on some very large projects, and I have all my computer design stuff that I do, and that's how I make my money. So please go there, check that out. Get yourself something nice. The Giant Chainmail Snug Hoodie. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback on that it's a super fun, snuggly item. If you love someone, you want to keep them warm, get them the Giant Chainmail Snug Hoodie. But other than that, it is 10 o'clock. I do have some stuff I got to do. I got to finish up before I go tonight. So I want to thank all you wonderful people. Excuse me. For hanging out. You all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to all of you later. Yeah, like I said, Thursday and Friday or Tuesdays and Thursdays are opening up. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming or not. I probably will. And usually I'm on here 8:30 to 10 Central Standard Time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Wednesday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday usually has been my schedule lately. So we'll see what it is going forward. It should be fairly similar. So you all have a wonderful evening. Good night.